I guess if you were to sum up what we do is we just love the kids. You know, there's nothing magical about what we're doing other than the fact that, you know, if there's a need, we try to fill it however we can, even if it's just to be there to listen to them.
It amazes me how many parents do not show up in their kids' lives. It breaks my heart.
Right.
That we're the ones at the games for them. You know,
Yeah.
It's like what Tim said. We just radically love them. We just give them everything we have, even if it's not very much. It's all theirs.
If I had to summarize Doug and Deena and what I appreciate about them, it's just that they really get the idea that it's not about them. And they're really willing to sacrifice whatever their personal comforts are for the benefit of other people. And that's not something that they just get, it's something that they really live.
For me, what gets me up in the morning is really the kids that we work with. Like I said, I have a day job. I have to do that every day, and I enjoy it. However, you know, my lunch breaks are typically involved, you know, doing something, or I'm writing some sort of paper, or tweaking some sort of website thing, or doing something. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, really, for both of us, I think, that's our night. You know, that's the night we get to hang out with the kids and just share our lives with them.
I admire them so much that I'm almost jealous of them because they just have such a... God's shown them what their purpose is in life, and they're attacking it. I would love to have my purpose that clear in what God wants me to do, and they've got it.
At that time, I did not think that youth ministry was something that I wanted to do. But then I heard somebody say, don't get swallowed up by a whale. So I said, okay, I think I'm supposed to do this. And the more I did it, the more I realized what God had called me to do. And it literally is what drives me today. It is what my passion is for.
You know, I think about Doug and Deena, and the thing I appreciate the most about Doug and Deena, no offense to Deena, but it has to do with Doug. And honestly, it's just how gorgeous that man is. I mean, who wouldn't want him in their church? Really. Actually, the thing I appreciate the most about Doug and Deena, you're cute, Doug, but their hearts, man, those two just give and give. You know, there are two things that make me think the most of Doug and Deena. One is how they showed up last year, right around the time that we started into a home makeover, that it easily became the biggest of the 3 makeovers we've done so far. I mean, this thing just built and built and built and kind of took on a life of its own and quickly grew to a massive scale. And I'll never forget Doug and Deena just getting to know Paradox and asking if there's anything they could do, if they could get involved somehow. And I told them, well, we have this home makeover we're doing. And the first day that I saw them come marching on to the job site with 20 or 30 teenagers, and all week, I mean every day in shifts, those guys were coming.
They brought their whole Eastside Teen Outreach group, and they were really, you know, just energetic, and the group was, but so was Doug and Deena, which was phenomenal. They were there almost every day. So I got a really good impression from both of them immediately, and they're both really enthusiastic. They're not like over the top, you know, crazy, I guess you'd say, enthusiastic, but I don't know, they just have a really cool, warm spirit about them, always willing to help.
There are a lot of us that were at that makeover all week long that really attribute the fact that that thing got pulled off to, man, really the Eastside Teen Outreach, Doug and Deena and their whole clan.
I do. I love this church. I get so excited to be here. And every Sunday I feel so incredibly blessed that I'm here, or that I got to hear the message, that again, it kind of breaks my heart that other people didn't get to hear it. Almost that I feel bad, because how could God give me so many blessings and not others? You know, and every week I'm brought to tears almost from the message. And I know that, you know, it's God speaking through Craig or whoever's up there speaking at the time. I don't think that Paradox could have come in our lives at a better time. We went through a really difficult, I would say, breakup from our other church, and that I didn't think that I would ever recover from that, and the hurt that came along with that. And Paradox just opened up their arms to us. So we basically told Craig, will you take us in, because we're homeless, you know, and we're churchless. And so it's just been a, you can't even explain it. It's just the feeling that the people here are genuine, they're real, and they love you. I thought I knew what that was. I thought I knew what friendship was until I realized what we were missing, when we came here. And that nobody wanted anything from us. It wasn't about what we could do for them or how much we could give, whether it be financially or of our time. It was they just accepted us.
You think of people that always talk, and we hear it all the time, all campaign after campaign, and every movie star lately wants to change the world. And a lot of the wealthier people that are getting platforms and attention for wanting to change the world are doing it by throwing money at some cause. And then you see people like Doug and Deena that I think really get how to change the world, and it's by changing people. And you change people by committing yourself to them. And man, I couldn't imagine Paradox without Doug and Deena. Truth is, there's a lot of churches that have done some really stupid stuff, some really hurtful stuff to many of us. And Doug and Deena, hearing parts of their story from where they've come, they've been in experiences like that, where they've had churches that have really abused them, have hurt them. And here they came to Paradox, they didn't know anything about us, they didn't know anybody here, and they could have very easily just said, you know what, we've got our thing that we're doing, and we're doing it for God, and we're making a difference, so we're just going to do that and forget the larger thing called the church, and we don't need to be a part of that. And instead, they really understood that the fullest experience of walking with Jesus is also a part of living in the context of Christian community, of a community of faith that's all about loving Jesus. And they dove right back in. And I love and appreciate their willingness and their heart after being hurt and burned to trust again. With all of their skepticism and with all of their doubt, I'm sure the first several weeks and months that they came to Paradox, they came and they plugged in. And they didn't sit back, they didn't stand on the sidelines, they didn't say, well, I'm just going to wait for you to hurt us again and then we're out of here, we're going to give church one more chance. They said, no, we're going to bleed here too. We're going to call this our home and we're going to give what we've got to give again. And I mean, man, may that be a lesson to all of us. Because if you haven't been hurt here yet at Paradox, you probably will at some point, by somebody in your life group, by another leader, by somebody unintentional. We all do it so often and so unintentional most of the time. And may we be like Doug and Deena, people who jump back in and who learn again with our skepticisms and our wounds to trust and to keep giving ourselves.